broadcast, you are streaming to the YouTube channel. It takes a little bit of time, but in a minute here, it'll say live on the where it says upcoming. It'll say live. That means we're hot, and I'll click on it, and it usually takes a minute or two here to see. Pull that down.
Say upcoming because you just clicked that, or upcoming just because?
Because it was a game that was upcoming. It hadn't happened yet. Nope. And so, that's a previous game, 2 hours and 54 minutes. That was 2 days ago when we played the Pilots here. So if I drag this down, let me go back and no, that's no good. That's not what I wanted. Here, we'll go here. Let's see if it's live yet. YouTube crashed. Perfect. See there, it's live. So there, see how it says live?
Yes.
That means we're hot. I don't know why I put that little thing there, but it did. So now there's what's going online right now. It's a live shot, and I'm talking, so I bet. Good afternoon and welcome to Chugiak, Alaska. Another beautiful day here at Lee Jordan Field. 69 degrees on a sunshiny day. Tim Cole is at home plate going over the ground rules with Rich Price and the three umpires for today's ball game. I had a chance to talk to Associate Head Coach Ted McGovern, and boy, what a man of God he is. A former Army colonel, and I guess you're always an Army colonel. You're not a former. So let's hear from Ted McGovern right now. All right, we're outside this Chinook dugout, and the Colonel, Ted McGovern. Ted, tell the folks just a little bit of your background and how you ended up being involved with the Chinooks.
Oh yeah, John, thank you so much. It's been an amazing journey, and I was in the Alaska Army National Guard and 30 years in the Army, and the last 18 were up here in Alaska, and so I finished out my career. I retired last year as a state chaplain for the Alaska National Guard. What an amazing blessing. God took me to places and ministering to soldiers like all around the globe. But as part of that, I've always, for the past 25 years, I've been coaching baseball.
Right.
All the way from, T-ball, all the way up through, recreational, comp, travel ball, high school. I started the program here at Grace Christian in Anchorage, and it was at that point that I got to know a guy named Chris Beck, who was the GM here and the AIA baseball director, and also I got to know you.
Yep.
And I remember
the coffee shop meeting.
You guys interviewed me, and I remember thinking, wow, these guys are doing at the college level what I didn't know anything about AIA. But I knew that you guys were training these guys to be godly men and helping them to dig into what does it mean to be a godly husband, father, play my sport for God, give it all to Christ. And I remember talking to you and Chris, wow, you guys are doing exactly at the collegiate level what I'm trying to do at the high school level. And I just asked, hey, I would love to join you if there's anything that I can do to help. And so, yeah, this is my fourth season on the coaching staff, and it was absolute blessing to be. I learned a ton from you, you're a mentor in a lot of ways, like on the baseball field, and then also, as a husband, father, grandfather, and just brother in the Lord. So thanks, John, for everything.
Well, you have transitioned now, and let's talk about that a little bit. You were the head coach of the Grace Christian High School here in Anchorage, started the program, turned it over to former Chinook coach Troy Hervey.
Yeah.
And so, but now you got a different chapter in your life. You have moved to Xenia, Ohio. Talk about that transition and what it's like being a Chinook coach, being full-time staff for AIA.
Yeah, that's been something that I never knew. I mean, I didn't even think about. Usually chaplains, when they retire from the Army, we go back to the church, right? And I was fully prepared to do that. But, well, again, Chris and you and others had asked me, would you pray about coming on staff full-time with AIA Baseball? And so Jennifer and I did. And, opportunities kept opening up. So, yeah, last April, I went through new staff orientation, and then we moved from Alaska after last season, moved to Xenia, Ohio, and working with...
The great state of Ohio.
Well, being from Michigan, right? They're all great, right? But it's been a blessing to serve at AIA and see... I mean, being a Chinooks coach is amazing. I can't believe that God allows us to work with these players, really forming bonds that will last for eternity. And I am just so encouraged to watch these guys, so much more talented than I, on the baseball field. So much, I wish that I had been pursuing the Lord in my 20s, like they are pursuing the Lord now.
Right.
And so that is an amazing blessing. And if God can use me in that, then to God be the glory.
Amen.
And also with AIA Baseball, in addition to the Chinooks, there's so many different things that we are involved with globally, right? We have a project in Cuba. We have a project with Israel. We have a project with Argentina. So it's amazing to see God at work. There's always something going on.
Well, thanks for saying yes to the Lord. These guys are privileged to have you. You're a gifted teacher. You're a gifted teacher of God's Word. You're amazing Barnabas for men and for me, and so I'm jealous of these guys that get to sit under your teaching here the rest of the summer, because we're going to Xenia and I'm not going to hear the great lesson you teach on the church and these other things you do in discipleship time. So I'm excited for you and Jennifer, and we're living in your house.
I'm excited for that, man. I got somebody to mow my grass and make sure that nothing bad happens. No, I'm really glad.
We are excited to get down to
stay.
Xenia, and thank you for opening your home, for letting us use your truck, and we'll get to spend a little time with Rachel, and that'll be kind of special for us too. So any shout outs to anyone that you want to say hi to, or shout out anyone on this broadcast?
Well, I'd like to just say thank you to all of Jennifer and I's ministry partners. You talked about me joining staff in AIA, and we could not do the ministry that we do. Just the prayer support that you all give, the financial support, that we cannot do this ministry here in Chugiak and Eagle River or around the globe without your help. So thank you so much. You guys are doing the Lord's work, and we're thankful for you.
Well, we're getting ready to play baseball. So Ted, thanks for taking time, and let's go get a W.
Thank you, John. God bless you. Let's go Nooks.
All right, a big shout out to Ted McGovern for his time as we go through the pregame festivities here. Just had a nice first pitch delivered by, I think it was a softball player. And we're getting ready. We might need her in the bullpen before the summer's over. Beautiful day here in Chugiak. Let's walk you through the lineups for both clubs. First, for the visitors, the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, they're led by first-year head coach Rich Price. They are 7-11 on the year. Here's their lineup. Leading off is the third baseman, Chase Knight. Batting second, the shortstop, Luke Hefner. Batting third, right fielder, Dylan Marks. Batting cleanup is the center fielder, Luke Stolga. Batting fifth, left fielder, Jacob Cowes. Batting sixth, the second baseman, Troy Sanders. Batting seventh is the catcher, Bo Rico. Batting eighth, first baseman, Jake Dodge. And batting ninth for the Pilots, designated hitter, Brendan Shanahan. On the mound for the Glacier Pilots today will be Colin Hunter. Defensively for the Chinooks, you got Brody Brady Groves in left field. Jaden Hill in center. Orion Medeiros back out there in right field today. Good to see him back in the lineup. David Broughton at third. Oliver Degenhardt at short. Louis Zuleika at second. Jacob Hayes at first. R.J. Rickaball behind the plate. And on the mound, 6 foot, 160, a right-handed freshman going to Westmont University, Troy Lopez. Troy Lopez 1-1 on the year with a 2.16 ERA so far this summer. This is Troy's third appearance, all 3 as a starter, 8 1/3 innings, 10 strikeouts, just 3 walks. The opposing hitters are hitting only .207 off the freshman from Chino Hills, California, Troy Lopez.
Number 13, Chase Knight.
And we are ready to play baseball here in Chugiak. Dr. John Groth with you. Jonathan Thomas is our stat man. He's to my left. Tim Bartow is my right-hand man. He's behind me here. Boy, we can't have nothing but a great broadcast here on a great day in Chugiak, Alaska. Chinooks are 6-8 as we come into today's game. And first pitch is going to miss high and away. Ball 1. We're underway at 4:02 in Chugiak, Alaska. Lee Jordan Field. Beautiful day. Wind blowing out west-northwesterly. That's going to be straight out to center. And changeup misses low, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. Chinooks with their navy blue tops, white pants with the blue piping. Chinooks across the front, white ball caps in the front, black, blue in the back, and the red bill. There's a chopper to second. This is Louis, and there's 1 out. 4-3 if you're scoring at the house, and Chase Knight is the first out of this ball game. Now it's Luke Hefner.
Coming to the plate for the Pilots, number 18, Luke Hefner.
And Luke Hefner has hit the ball really well against the Chinooks this summer. And boy, I have to count how many games we've played against them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is our 9th time to play the Pilots. We only have 1 more game against them, and that's going to be July 20th. So this schedule this summer has been Pilot heavy early, and yeah, we're getting to know each other really well, maybe too well. Last time we had 2 games ago down in Anchorage, had a little bit of festivities right at the end of the ball game after the walk-off home run, but thankfully cooler heads prevailed. Coaches did an amazing job of preventing anything from getting going any more than just a couple of chest bumps. And so counts 1 ball, no strikes to Hefner. Line drive, left field, base hit, and Hefner just continues to wear out Chinook pitching. Nice piece of hitting. That was a fastball away up in the zone. He went the other way with it, and there goes the no-hitter. With 1 out, 1 on, here's Dylan Marks. Dylan Marks, the right fielder for the Pilots. And he's a multi-talented young man. He pitched the other night, did really well in relief. 5'11", 165. Marks a freshman from Feather River Junior College, and he's an Alaskan. He's from Sitka, Alaska. Don't have a lot of Alaskans on the ABL rosters, but there are a few. Chinooks got we got Shane Steffen, who's actually out of pocket today, attending a family wedding. So we miss Shane today. But, we've had the last 3 or 4 summers either 1 or a couple of Alaskans on our roster with the Chinooks, and almost every team has a few Alaskans on their roster. That next pitch was in there. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner first, 1 out. Lopez the set. And the pitch. And just misses. 2 balls and a strike. To right fielder Dylan March. He's the 3-hitter this inning. And next, there goes the runner. You throw down Rickaball, and he's safe. Well, RJ, that was not an easy pitch to throw on, and he almost had obstruction by the hitter there. I don't know. He's talking to the umpire about it, and don't know what to say about that. I mean, if there's contact made,
For the Pilots, number 7, Dylan Marks.
was that strike 3? Okay. Maybe we're catching up on who's hitting. So now runner at second base with 1 out. And the pitch. Good breaking ball, strike 3. There's strike 3. There's your second out of the inning. First strikeout of the game for Troy Lopez. 2 outs.
Number 3, Luke Stulga.
Here's Luke Stulga, the center fielder. Stulga is 6'2", 200, a freshman from Illinois State University, Tinley Park, Illinois native. He'll step in right on right matchup here against Troy Lopez. Wow. Really good changeup there. And that ball hit about 58 feet. And RJ did a nice job of picking that thing out of the turf, but Stulga could not hold up. It's 0-1. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. Tell you what, if you look at Troy Lopez's numbers this summer, they're pretty impressive. He's 1-1 with a 2.16 ERA. In 8 1/3 innings, he has struck out 10 batters and only walked 3. And opposing hitters are only hitting .207 off of Lopez. Next pitch, runner moving, and that ball's in the dirt. And the runner will stand up with an easy steal of third base. It's Luke Hefner. And he's just really done a nice job of barreling balls up, and when he's on base, he's looking to go. And even with 2 outs, that ball was in the dirt. RJ did nice to just block it. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Troy Lopez. No runs on 1 hit. You leave 1 guy on at third base. And Jonathan's too quick on the trigger here. Gotta go back to the live stats here to give up the pitch count. But we're scoreless after 1/2 inning. It's the Anchorage Pilots 0 and the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks coming to the plate. Back in a minute.
We want to take this moment to
All right, after Troy Lopez threw 14 pitches in his first inning, let's walk you through the Chinook lineup. Leading off will be shortstop Oliver Dagenhart, batting second baseman Louis Zuleka, batting third, center fielder Jaden Hill. The cleanup hitter will be first baseman Jacob Hayes. The catcher is R.J. Rickaball. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth is third baseman David Broughton. Left fielder Brady Groves will bat seventh. Batting eighth is a DH, Keaton Laidley, and batting ninth for the Chinooks, right fielder Orion Medeiros. Defensively for the Glacier Pilots, Jacob Cowles in left, Luke Stulga in center, Dylan Marks in right field as Ollie takes ball one. Around the infield, Chase Knight at third, Luke Hefner at short, Troy Sanders at second, Jake Dodge at first. Bo Rico is behind the plate, and on the mound, 6'1", 190, a right-handed sophomore from Sacramento State University, Colin Hunter. Hunter's 0-2 with a 9.39 ERA. A little fly ball to right field, and you got plenty of room out there. Easy play for Dylan Marks, and there's one out. Colin Hunter, 0-2 with a 9.39 ERA so far this summer. This is Hunter's third appearance, and it's Hunter's third start of the summer for the Glacier Pilots. 7 2/3 innings for Hunter. He has struck out 4 and walked 6. Opposing batters hitting .363 off the right-handed sophomore from Scottsdale, Arizona, Colin Hunter. And he gets ahead of the second hitter in the Chinook lineup, Louis Zuleika. Second baseman for the Nooks. Here's a chopper that's right in front of the plate. That's a fair ball, and he's out. Really strange play there, and a heads-up play by Bo Rico. That ball hit back, but it bounced into fair territory, and alertly Rico grabbed it while it was still in fair territory. And that's a good call as best I can see from our vantage point. Tim Cole's going to get an explanation here. But best I can tell, that's just going to be a 2U. And that ball went into fair territory. It doesn't matter. If he touches it inside the lines, that's a fair ball. And so Louis was mystified. He didn't move, and Rico alertly grabbed it in fair territory and tagged Zuleika. So there's 2 up and 2 down very quickly. And now it's Jaden Hill stepping in, the switch hitting center fielder. Bat lefty against the right-handed Colin Hunter. Foul ball, strike 1. So 2 up, 2 down. And very quickly an 0-2 count on Jaden Hill. Jaden Hill, 6'3", 225. Kind of looks like a linebacker. Hard hit ground ball. Hefner at short fields it, throws it, and there's your inning. 6-3 if you're scoring at the house, and Chinooks cannot get anything going in their half of the first inning. And we'll head to the second inning, still scoreless. Stay with us. Got a beautiful day for baseball. Man, if you're in the area, come on out and enjoy some great college baseball here at Lee Jordan Field. If you can't make it today, tomorrow we play an earlier time, 2 o'clock Sunday start here at Lee Jordan. So the Chinooks play 5 home games in a row. You play today at 4, tomorrow at 2. Off Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday you got the Miners and the Oilers here at Lee Jordan. 6 o'clock start. Back in just a minute. All right, let's get caught up on some of these live chats. Thanks for checking in. If you haven't checked in, send us a note here. Mark Corbin, thanks for letting me know my mic was hot. we were going through some training here on site, and forgot to mute my mic as we went on the air today. Miss Serrano was checked in, rooting for Troy Lopez. Miss Alexander rooting for Troy, and certainly appreciate those check-ins. Miss Lily from Troy's Papa, Grandpa, rooting for Troy. So we got the Troy Lopez fan club checking in early, so thanks for all those check-ins. And checking in from Norwalk, California is one of the places. So if you haven't checked in, let us know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for. And I'd love to hear from you. Let us know the pictures and sounds are coming through strong. Here's Jacob Cowles, the left fielder. First pitch misses, ball 1. 5, 6, and 7 here in the second inning for the Glacier Pilots from Anchorage. Well, good changeup, and 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, right now we're still working on trying to get some accurate standings for the ABL. So my best source so far, honestly, has been to go to the Miners. They got the right standings there. I'm going to go there right now and see if I can figure out who's in what place here. So the Chinooks are 5-8. The Pilots are 7-11. I guess that percentage points ahead of us. That's what that means. So we're actually in 5th right now. They're in 4th. And no, that's not right. We're 5-8. That's accurate. So the thing that's frustrating right now on Presto is I've been to multiple websites in the last couple days, and there's as many as 3 different versions of what the standings are right now. So I've tried to communicate with Presto. We need to get that cleaned up. They were putting on the whole schedule or all the games instead of just league games. Good piece of hitting right there. That's trouble. Into the gap. That's going all the way to the wall. Jacob Cow just put a hammer on a fastball up and away and drilled it to the wall. There's a double. And the Pilots have a leadoff runner in scoring position, and now it's Troy Sanders stepping in. So Sanders batting 6th, playing second base. So I can't promise you that these are accurate, but I think they are. As best I could tell when I checked them this last couple of days, Bucks are on top at 11-4. Then it's the Oilers 7-6. Matsu 7-8. The Pilots 7-11. The Nooks 5-8 in ABL play. And I'm not 100% sure that's accurate either. So, but that was the most accurate as of yesterday. Now some games were played last night. And so Presto, for whatever reason, their standings part of their website is not pulling the same information for different websites, which is kind of frustrating. Because if you go to our website right now, it's got actually a couple of teams they still have ties. And I think they tried to fix that aspect on some of it, but still working on it. Swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2 on Troy Sanders, the second baseman. So if those are right, technically we are in 5th by percentage points. These games are obviously, every game is important in ABL play, and you got a chance to kind of give the opponent a loss, give yourself a win, and move up the standings. Top 4 at the end of the summer will make the playoffs. 1 will play 4, 2 will play 3 in a 3-game series. And so probably, we're still a long ways from being a playoff, worrying about the playoffs here, but you want those standings to reflect an accurate assessment of the games that have been played. Right now, it's just a jumbled mess. So that's the bottom line. We've got a new company, and they're still trying to work out some tweaks on the standings part of the stats. So be patient; they'll get it right. They're still working. We're a new client of theirs, so they've done a good job in the past. They're actually the carrier for Tyler Junior College, where I work full time in the other 10 months of the year. Swing and a miss. Boy, that was at his eyes. Probably one chasing a bad pitch there, and Troy Lopez gets strikeout number 3. Here's Bo Rico, the catcher.
Batting for the Pilots, number 19, Bo Rico.
Jacob Cow's a leadoff double. Absolutely smoked the ball into the left center gap, and with 1 out, now Rico with a chance to drive him in. Troy Lopez able to navigate 1 base runner in the first inning. It was Luke Hefner, opposite field single, and he stole 2 bases, so he ended up at third. Lopez able to strand him there in the first inning, and now he's going to have to do the same thing here with Jacob Cowles. He's at second base now, 1 out, and a 1-0 count to Bo Rico. Next pitch, pop up in the infield, perfect for the Chinooks. Who's going to call it? And it's going to be Broughton coming way over. He dropped the ball, and now he throws it away. Good gracious. That's going to be 2 errors on David Broughton. 1 on the field, 1 on the catch, and then the throw. So it's E5 that will get Bo Rico to first base, and then it's a E5 on the throw that will get Rico to second and Cowles to third. So now you got second and third, 1 out, and you got to regroup a little bit. And a good visit here from R.J. Rickaball to tell Troy Lopez, this is not your doing here. Just keep doing what you're doing. He got exactly what he wanted there. infield pop-up with a runner at second. It would have been 2 outs,
Number 26.
and now you got still 1 out, and you not only have 1 guy in scoring position, now you have 2. So now it's Jake Dodge for the first time, another lefty. And we're going to bring our infield in, all 4 of them, so got to work hard here. Here's the pitch. Off the plate, 1 ball, no strikes. Well, diving bodies here, you've got to keep this ball on the infield. If it gets through, it's going to be 2 runs. And so pretty early in the game to bring them all in, but Tim, offense has not been something we've had a lot of lately, so sometimes you got to do these things early. Breaking pitch is going to miss just a bit high, not much. Called a ball, 2-0. A lot of times you'll see coaches play the middle infielders back here to try to prevent that ball from getting through up the middle, and you maybe bring your corners in, but Tim's decided to go ahead and bring them all in and try to keep this thing at a low-scoring game. Pop up, out of play, left side. So Troy does a nice job of working back here. And now it's 2-1. And RJ going to go out and talk again. Umpires are not enforcing the speed-up rules this summer, so I think the catchers are picking up on that as we got a flyover. Our first flyover of the game. We'll have them. It's going right over the diamond here. So it's 2 balls, 1 strike to Jake Dodge. Troy Lopez, 27 pitches before this at bat. Here's the 2-1. Reached out and got it up the middle, base hit, and that'll be 2 runs. It's 2-0 Pilots. Breaking ball, did not barrel it up. He hit it off the end of the bat, but he got just enough of it to knock it up the middle. And just like that, the Pilots will get 2 runs. Not sure if they're earned yet. Not sure on that. So probably unearned at this point. I'd say no on the earned. I'd say both of them would be unearned at this point, and we can go back and fix them if we have to. So
number 14, Brendan Shanahan.
Here's Brendan Shanahan, the 9-hitter for the Pilots. The way these scoring apps work is you got to make a decision before you absolutely know. The good news is you can go back and change it. But if you play this inning out without the air, it's going to depend on what the next few hitters do in this sequence of events. So right now, I would say unearned, and we'll see how the inning plays out. First pitch was a strike. It's 0-1. Fastball up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pilots wearing their sweet grays today. I love them. Dodger grays. Got the piping down the side. Pilots across the chest. And I'm not being able to. I think they got their blue ball caps on. I think they got the Pilot logo on the front. Boy, pretty good spot there. Called a ball as we get our second flyover of the day. And that's going right over the center of the field. 2-1 pitch. The set, the pitch. Foul tip, 2-2. Well, those planes aren't that far apart. I know occasionally we have planes that land out at Mirror Lake. Those are not landing at Mirror Lake. They got wheels on them, so came up from Merrill Field. Maybe Birchwood back behind us. Plenty of smaller airports for these smaller single-engine planes to land and take off at around here. And there's also a plethora of lakes that have. Boy, if you have any kind of little lake in this area, there's planes all over them parked. I was up at Mirror Lake the other day on an off day, and I think I counted 10 planes on Mirror Lake that can, at any point, can take off or land. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Foul tip, and it's going to go foul. Well, that could have been like the play earlier with Louis Zuleika if that had gone fair. Nobody was moving, so you could have possibly got a double play on that if it had rolled fair. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pilots have taken a 2-0 lead. Chinooks, a miscue that opened the door. Swing and a miss. Boy, really good breaking ball there. Strikeout number 4 for Troy Lopez, and there's 2 away.
Coming to the plate, For the Pilots, number
So
15, Chase Knight.
single. Here's what I'll tell you now for sure, but they're both unearned. That just sealed the deal on those runs being unearned. Because if they weren't, that strikeout would have ended the inning. Ground ball right side, that's going to get through for a single. And the leadoff hitter, Chase Knight, is now 1 for 2 in his second plate appearance in as many innings. And the inning continues. First and second, 2 outs, and now here comes the hard-hitting Luke Hefner. And boy,
For the Pilots, number 18, Luke Hefner.
try to keep these runners. No, Chase Knight would not be worried about running. I'm not sure Jake Dodge, the lead guy at second, is going to be going anywhere here with 2 outs at second base. But still dangerous at bat for Troy Lopez, as Hefner probably their best hitter. And now that helps the cause. Wild pitch gets by RJ, and now you really got to work hard. Ugh, boy, the Chinooks have really kind of shot themselves in the foot here. A dropped pop-up really opened the door, and now that wild pitch. You got to pitch to Hefner really careful. 1-0. I would almost think about walking him. He struck out Dylan Marks the first time through. He's a right-handed batter, and you got arguably their toughest hitter from the left side with 2 in scoring position. The 1-0. Boy, he paints the outside corner and evens the count. Well, the only problem with that is that the first time up, Hefner hit that same pitch hard into left field. So he's shown the ability to go the other way if you're going to stay outside. And so it's all about change of speed and change of location. The 1-1. There it is, and thankfully it went right to David Broughton, and he secures that one for the final out. L5 if you're scoring at the house. So nice job by Troy to get out of that late trouble. But 2 unearned runs in the inning give the Pilots a 2-0 lead as we head to the bottom of inning number 2. For the Chinooks, it'll be Jacob Hayes, R.J. Rickaball, and David Broughton. First pitch swinging by Hayes. It's in the hole. I'm going to give him a hit. That's a long throw. I'm not sure Hefner throws him out. Ball actually got by the third baseman, Chase Knight. Hefner had a hit off his glove. They kind of crossed each other, and I'm going to give him an infield single. So 1B6. And here's R.J. Rickaball for the first time. Yeah, we need to go tell Casey as well, probably. Ground ball, first pitch, foul. Colonel Ted making the play. Colonel Ted got the navy blue short sleeve pullover on. And Tim Cole at third base got the short sleeve hoodie on today, lightweight. Beautiful day here at the ballpark. Swing and a miss. Boy, nice. Boy, he turned that over. It's like almost like a screwball. Little cut fastball away from RJ. And very quickly now 0-2 on the Chinook catcher. Snap throw over. So Jacob Hayes, a infield single. He's at first, nobody out. Chinooks need to chip away here. Still got a lot of baseball. We're playing 9. Swing and a miss, got him. And that'll be the first strikeout of the day. Colin Hunter. I think that might be a changeup that he's thrown to those lefties. It's diving and going away from them. It's not an easy pitch to hit for a lefty. First strikeout of the day for Colin Hunter. Here's the third baseman, David Broughton. Right on right matchup. Hunter the pitch, and swing and a miss. That was a changeup up under the hands. So he's starting to mix in that changeup to the righties and to the lefties. Hayes at first with 1 out. And now he comes with a fastball, paints it on the black. So, if you're up there as a hitter right now for Broughton, you're thinking changeup in, fastball away. What's coming next? Got to be prepared for the fastball away and adjust. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. That looked like a good changeup away. Back-to-back strikeouts for Colin Hunter. 2 outs, and in steps Brady Groves, left fielder. The Oberlin Yeoman, Mr. Brady Groves. Got the best number out there today. 6 foot, 195. It's a fastball right down Main Street, strike 1. Freshman from Oberlin, Youngsville, North Carolina native. Colin Hunter trying to keep the shutout intact. The pitch. We had a notion, and pretty good pitch there. I thought it was a called strike. And Brady gets the call. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Jacob Hayes at first. And he drops. I don't know what that is. That looked like kind of a little get me over curveball. Just fluttered over the plate, and I think Brady was kind of wondering what is that. And next thing he knows, Mr. Umpire's right arm's coming up. So it's 1-2. Foul tip. He managed to get just a piece of that, and oh boy, Bo Rico. I'm not sure where he got that. He dropped his glove on his catching hand. And he's looking at his catching hand. That is no fun, I'm just telling you. By the way, we got some tough news for Tim Reynolds. He got hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning in our last game. He's got a broken bone in his hand. So I was wearing a sling today, a little splint, and not sure what that means for the rest of his summer as a Chinook. But he got hit by a pitch in his let's see, it was his first at bat in what was a 6-2 Pilot win the other night. So our prayers go with him. But I'll tell you what, we'll tell you more about Tim Reynolds here as the broadcast progresses, because there's a cool part of that. Just a bit low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brady Groves with 2 outs. Jacob Hayes still at first base. He led the inning off with an infield single. Chopper, and it's going to go foul. So what we do, and we'll talk about it later. I was going to talk a little bit about what the Chinooks did before today's game. Pretty special what we do as a club. The second to last home game against every team, we do something and have a chance to share what we're about with the other teams. So Timmy was part of that, and really proud of what our guys did today. That ball missed. It's a full count now on the 7-hitter, Brady Groves. Deep breath. Hunter the pitch. Foul tip, and Rico holds on, and he struck out the side. He gave up the infield single and then proceeded to strike out Rickaball, Broughton, and Groves in succession. No runs on 1 hit. You leave 1 runner on base, and we are through 2 innings here in Chugiak. It's 2-0 Pilots. Dylan Marks will lead it off for the Pilots. First pitch is swung on and missed, strike one. 2-0 Pilots, top of inning number 3. For the Pilots, it's 3, 4, and 5 in their lineup. Troy Lopez back on the bump for the Chinooks. Pop up right side of the infield, and Louis snags it for out number 1. Never a doubt, right? F4 if you're scoring at the house, and there's 1 up and 1 down in the Pilot third inning.
For the Pilots, number 3, Luke Stolga.
So Troy Lopez now 43 pitches as he faces the cleanup hitter Luke Stolga for the second time. He struck him out looking back in the first inning. Ground ball, first pitch, high chopper to Broughton. Throws across, off the bag, and nice job by Jacob Hayes coming off the bag. So that'll go 5-3, but a nice play by Hayes there. He showed some athleticism coming off the bag and putting the tag on Stolga as he came by. 2 outs. Here's Jacob Kaus. Kaus hit a bullet to the left center gap in leading off the second inning, and that really was the beginning of what would end up being 2 runs for the Pilots. First pitch is in there, strike 1. Well, very quickly now, Troy with 2 outs. See if he can get the Nooks back in the dugout and see if they can get some runs for him. Next pitch. That's going to miss outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chinooks tomorrow, 2 o'clock game against the Miners right here at Lee Jordan. And that's going to be in there for a strike. And yes, on the that Wednesday game, that's going to be a 4 o'clock start. It's a doubleheader against the Oilers. We're making up the game that was rained out on June 11th. So those will be 7-inning ball games as that ball is outside. Evening the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So you got today's game at home. We're right in the middle of a 5-game homestand here. Played the Pilots on Thursday. We play the Pilots again today. Tomorrow it's the Miners, 2 o'clock. Tuesday it's the Miners, 6 o'clock. And then a doubleheader against the Oilers on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Ground ball up the middle. Louis backhands, throws to first, and there's your inning. Nicely done by Louis Zuleka, and nicely done by Troy Lopez. It's a 1-2-3 inning for the freshman from Chino Hills, and we're headed to the bottom of the third, 2-0 Pilots. Correct. Keaton Laidley to lead it off. First at bat for him. 8-9-1 for the Chinooks. Bottom of the third inning. First pitch is off the plate, ball 1. Glad you're with us. Dr. John Groth on the call. A.K. Jonathan Thomas doing the stats for us. And Tim Bartow making sure we're getting all the calls right.
And that Chinook foul ball sponsored by Three Bears Alaska, the official water sponsor of the Chinooks.
1 ball, 1 strike on the Chinook designated hitter, Keaton Laidley. Misses low. Boy, you need some base runners. Somebody on base. Still a very manageable 2-0 lead for the Pilots. Still early in this ball game, bottom of the third. Boy, that's right down Broadway. 2-1. Keaton Laidley, Paris Junior College, back in Texas. Ground ball, this is a tough play. Who's going to get it? Hefner's going to catch it, no shot. Infield single for Keaton Laidley. And there you go. You got your leadoff guy aboard. And now it's Orion Medeiros for the first time in a while. Good to see him back in the uniform and back in the lineup.
Orion Medeiros.
Orion Medeiros, 6 foot 200, a sophomore. He's at Westmont University. And he is a Hawaii native. Kailua, Hawaii. I don't know if I said that right, but he steps in, takes ball 1. How do you say that? Kailua. Okay, thank you. We got a gentleman married to a Hawaiian, right? That's why Tim Bartow's sitting in his breakfast. High chopper right back to the mound. Hunter thinks about going to second, throws to first, and that'll serve as a swinging bunt right there. And Laidley goes to second base, 1 out. And that'll roll it back to the top. Oliver Dagenhart for the second time. Flew out to right field his first time up.
Number 9, Oliver Dagenhart.
Dagenhart, 5'11", 175, a freshman from Truman State University, St. Louis, Missouri native. Dagenhart, 229 on the summer for the Nooks, who now have a team average of 212. It's been below 200 for quite a while. If you look league-wide, nobody's tearing it up offensively. There just is nobody with big numbers on the offensive side of it, and a lot of good pitching going on this year in the ABL. It's either good pitching or the hitting isn't as strong. Well, time will tell on that one. No balls, 2 strikes. Is that right? The scoreboard's kind of hard to see. Next pitch, swing and a miss. And it was 0-2. So that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 4 for starting pitcher Colin Hunter. And now it's Louis Zulaika stepping in. Louis hit a ball that hit right by the plate, and an alert Bo Rico, the catcher, grabbed it in fair territory, and before Louis could get out of the batter's box, tagged him, and he was out. Second at bat for Louis. And there's a breaking ball over the heart of the plate, strike 1. Zulaika hitting 270 on the summer. He's having a nice summer. He does have a double, a couple of RBIs for the Chinooks second baseman. And now Bo Rico out to make a visit. And this is where the college rules are kind of being disregarded here. They aren't keeping track of those visits. And I don't know that anyone's keeping a pitch clock. Although the pitchers are so conditioned now in college that it's kind of nice. They're all working kind of quick, which is a welcome change from a couple of summers ago. I'm just going to tell you that. They're playing 4.5-hour games out here. Ground ball to third, and easy play over there, and there's your third out. That's Chase Knight throwing him out. 5-3 if you're scoring at the house. No runs, 1 hit, you leave 1 guy on. And for the second inning in a row, the Chinooks get an infield single to start the inning and can't do anything with it. No runs on 1 hit, 1 left. We're through 3 innings here at Lee Jordan Field. The score remains the Glacier Pilots 2 and the Chinooks 0. Troy Sanders to lead it off for the Pilots. Inning number 4. First pitch just misses, ball 1. 6, 7, 8 for the Glacier Pilots. Sanders, Rico, Jake Dodge. And Troy Lopez, that was pitch number 50 for Lopez. Hammered left field. If it stays fair, it's trouble. And it's fair, and it's out of here. Boy, he put the hammer on that one. Fastball inside. Troy Sanders dropped the head on it. And that ball curved right around the foul pole for a solo home run to lead off the 4th inning. 3-0 Pilots. That'll be the first earned run given up by Troy Lopez today. And now they'll start over with Bo Rico. And Rico reached on an error. He's the one that hit the infield pop-up that was misplayed and really opened the door in that second inning for 2 unearned runs to score. First pitch misses low, ball 1. And if you're Troy Lopez here, you just got to take a breath, keep your composure, and keep doing what you can do. Had a good start to his summer here in Alaska, and you're going to face some good hitters. Sanders just got a pitch he liked and took a whack at it and was able to just keep it fair. 325 right down the lines. That ball carried and probably carried the fence by about 5 feet, and it just did come inside our 30-foot beautiful foul poles. Oh, man. I was so happy when we had those foul poles installed a couple years ago, Tim. It sets this ballpark apart from the rest of the diamonds at this. We had softball fields all around us, and we had the little bitty fence pole foul poles. I did not envy the umpires trying to call fair or foul on home runs that left the yard. Now we got kind of legit 30-footers. You got to really smack it to get it up over that thing, and it does. It adds to the ambiance of the ballpark. So thanks you Parks and Recs for helping us get those a few years ago. Bo Rico, the 2-1 pitch is going to. Oh no, sorry, called a strike. I like it. And I think are we 2-2? Okay, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 run in here is a solo shot by Troy Sanders. There's another hit the other way, and Brady Groves can't quite come up with it. Good effort by the Chinook left fielder, Brady Groves. He came in and dove and did a little bit of a roll there. That'll be a single, 1B7. And Rico is aboard with nobody out. Now it's Jake Dodge. And here comes Kyle Peets. He's telling his infielders to stay back. He wants to have a little chat with Troy Lopez and just try to reset him a little bit. Tell you what's happening here, and you got to tip your cap to these Glacier Pilot hitters. Tell you what, they got a lot of lefties in their lineup, and almost every one of them is doing an amazing job of going the other way. As we've seen time after time in this game, Troy try to live outside, and that's what you normally do. Normally, hitters have trouble with that outside pitch, but today the Pilots have made the good adjustment, and they've had a number of hitters, 1, 2, 3, at least 3 of their hits have been the opposite way from left-handed batters. Hefner did it, Bo Rico did it, and Jacob Cowes hit an absolute laser the other way for a double. And Mr. Umpire going to be patient with Kyle Peets out there, and I'm surprised he's not breaking up the rock pile here. And I tell you, if this was NC2A baseball, that would not have gone on that long. They're letting them go a little bit this summer, so that's all right. It's summer ball. Mr. Umpire's realizing we got a bubble in home plate. There's a bubble there. He's trying to get rid of it. It's not a good thing. We got a new plate in the shed over there. We need to install it. Came in last week. I noticed when we got back off our road trip that we got a new home plate. We just need to put it in. Stepping in is Jake Dodge. First pitch is high, ball 1. Dodge reached on a single to center field last time up. Drove in 2 runs. He's 1 for 1 with 2 driven in. Here's the pitch. Ugh. Really good changeup there, and Troy thought he had a strike. I thought he had a strike, but unfortunately, Mr. Umpire behind the plate, that would be Mr. Charles Reddick from Tallahassee, Florida. He's the only opinion that matters. First base umpire is Derek Cooper from San Angelo, Texas. And the third base umpire today is Luis Alvarado Sr. from South Florida. So that's our umpiring crew for today. Appreciate their efforts. And I would say overall the umpiring has probably been a little better this summer than we've noticed in previous years. Off the plate. We have much more experience on the umpiring crews this summer, which is, in previous years, what they've tried to do is bring up some young bucks that are trying to earn their way into the college ranks, and sometimes they aren't quite ready for the level of ball that's played up here. Next pitch is in there for a strike, 3-1. And the inexperience sometimes, I don't know, it's certainly admirable to try to come up and get some experience, but sometimes creates some frustration on the side of the coaches. As when the game's at a different speed, the breaking balls break a little sharper. Sometimes the strike zone is a bit of an issue, and getting to the right spot and just dealing with baseball at this level, at the speed it's played, you take some time and experience. High pop-up, right center field, and who's going to call this thing? It is going to be the right fielder, Medeiros, calling it in for out number 1. Ball was well hit by Dodge, but it lands in Medeiros' glove for out number 1. Now it's the 9-hitter, Brendan Shanahan. Shanahan struck out swinging his first time up. So he's 0 for 1 in this ball game. Pilots lead 3-0. It was 2-0, and the leadoff hitter of this inning, Troy Sanders, a line drive homer over the left field wall to give them a 3-0 advantage. First pitch is fouled off, and it's 0-1. Rico followed with a single the other way, and then Dodge just flew out. So there's your recap for the 4th inning. Runner at first, 1 out. Next pitch. Boy, good breaking ball. Swings through it. Well, if you're in Alaska right now, you got cottonwood things all over the place. They're floating around this press box. It's a wonder that we don't have cottonwoods all over Alaska, like everywhere. Because these things went and washed the rental car I'm turning in tomorrow. It's hard to keep the car clean because I was vacuuming and all these cottonwoods were just coming in. Wow, I was sucking them out of the air. There were so many of them. If you go down and play at Mulcahy, they got a line of cottonwoods, and if the wind's blowing through them, it's like it's a snowstorm. Boy, he got him off the fist, but he muscles it into left field for a single. So 2 on, 1 out as Shanahan. He got jammed. That's a pretty good pitch by Lopez, but he got enough of it to get it into shallow left field for his first hit of the day. Now it's the top of the lineup, Chase Knight. Chase Knight, 1 for 2. Grounded out to second and had a base hit to right field his last time up. First pitch right down the middle, strike 1. And that's another strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Boy, you'd love to get a double play ball right here. Tough to turn with the leadoff hitter Knight at the plate. Next pitch, way off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So the Chinooks now, with 3 catchers on their roster, will now only have 2 catchers. So you're going to probably see Mr. Dustin Eisenagel a lot more, as they'll have to navigate the rest of the summer with just 2 catchers. And we've had a few years. There's a ground ball foul. We've had a few years where we ended with just one. And that's never a healthy thing when that guy's got to catch every ball game. Well, J. Paul Fullerton, rascal. That guy is tougher than nails, and he would not tell us ever that he couldn't play. And we had to kind of scramble one year trying to find an alternative catcher at the end of the summer. Our other catchers had gotten injured. Swing and a miss, got him. And for Troy Lopez, that'll be strikeout number 5. And there's 2 outs. Here's Luke Hefner. Base hit to left and a liner to third base. Hefner 1 for 2.
Number 18, Luke Hefner.
And we'll see how he approaches Hefner this time. Took what I thought was a fastball away his first at bat. Last time I think he got him on the changeup away. Hit a little liner to third. There's a grounder to first base. And boy, you throw it over the head. That's going to be an error and another run. Golly. Jacob Hayes, all he had to do is make a nice underhand flip or even a good toss to Troy Lopez. And he tossed it overhand and he airmailed it. So that's going to be an E3. And that's going to allow Rico to come home to score. And Shanahan goes to third base on the error. And so now it's Dylan Marks. So, man, you have 4 runs in, and 3 of them are unearned. So the next pitch is fouled off, strike 1. So you won't get an RBI for Hefner there, and it'll be another unearned run for the Pilots. 4-0. The solo home run is the only earned run of this ball game. Here's the 0-1. Pop up. This should do it. Let's see who's going to. The sun's a factor here on this, and now Jacob Hayes will take over and make the catch. That'll go P3, and that'll end the inning. But the Pilots end up getting 2 more runs, a solo homer by Troy Sanders, and an error allowed a second run to score. We got a new score. It's Pilots 4, Chinooks 0. Well, there goes Colonel Ted. Our pregame interview, if you missed it, was Colonel Ted McGovern, the associate head coach for the Chinooks. He's going to coach first base, and Tim Cole going out to third base. Chinooks trail 4-0, and you got plenty of time here, but at some point you got to start getting runners on, getting them around, and getting them in. It's the 3-hitter, Jaden Hill, for the second time. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Jaden Hill hit a ground ball to short his first time up. It was pitch number 37 for Colin Hunter. A nice job starting this ball game. Jaden Hill, 293 on the summer. Ground ball, second base. Sanders gobbles it up, throws over, and there's one out. So Hill out 4-3. Now it's Jacob Hayes stepping in. Hayes had an infield single his first time up, hit a ball in the hole.
Number 32, Jacob Hayes.
And it got by Chase Knight, who ranged way to his left. Hefner got a glove on it, but we scored it a hit. Didn't think that he could make the play, even if he had fielded that cleanly. He would have had to navigate Chase Knight. They almost got tangled up over there. And so scored an infield single. So Hayes is 1 for 1. Takes ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, low, but called a strike. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Jacob Hayes, 289 on the year. That's third on the club. Dustin Eisenagel at the top. He is 3 for 9. Chopper back to the mound, and you step, you throw, and you got him. Nice play there by Colin Hunter. And there's 2 down here in the 4th for the Chinooks. Here's R.J. Rickaball, the catcher. Struck out his first time up.
Chinooks number 17, R.J. Rickaball.
R.J. Rickaball, 4 out of 32, scored 3 runs. That's a 125 average. He's driven 7 in. And those 7 RBIs is second on the club to Oliver Dagenhart, who's driven in 8. Colin Hunter, the full windup, and that ball missed. We're 2-0 now on the left-handed batting catcher, R.J. Rickaball. Here's the 2-0 count, 2-0 pitch. That's a liner that goes foul past the Chinook dugout, third base side. Beautiful day here in Chugiak. We started at 69. We're probably a little warmer by now. And we got, I guess, Miss Kathy Sickenberger checking in from Pittsburgh, PA. Thanks for checking in. 3-0. That ball missed. Thanks for checking in, Kathy. Check the weather real quick here and see if we've gone up. We are. We're at 71 now as Rickaball takes a rip at a high fastball and fouls it back. So I think we're scheduled to get just a couple degrees warmer today. Next pitch and fastball. Coach Cole making the play over there at third base. Well, the weather after a soggy start, first week or so, since then it's been absolutely perfect weather. Mid-60s, low 70s, and a lot of sunshine. So thank you, Lord, for that. We're going to go ahead and play. We got 2 in-game interviews to finish up the roster with, and that will be Kade Fujioka and Gavin Aletti today. There's a line drive into right field, but it stays up, and Dylan Marks puts the glove on it for out number 3. L9 if you're scoring at the house. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across here in inning number 4 for the Chinooks. And it's still 4-0 Pilots. Let's hear from Kade Fujioka right now.
Family members to Lions Park and enjoy the wonderful designated areas. And a big thank you to the Lions Club Sparkle the Clown.
Okay, we're outside the Chinook dugout with Kade Fujioka. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Okay, close enough. And want to introduce yourself, where you're from, hometown, college, and you're in a unique situation, position, and maybe a little bit about how you got on this team. How did you become a Chinook?
Yeah, so my name is Kade Fujioka. I'm from Maui, Hawaii, city of Wailuku. And how I became a Chinook, I'm going to be an incoming freshman at Westmont College.
Oh, nice.
As a pitcher.
That's a unique thing, man. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I've been doing the Alaska League for 12 years, and there aren't many guys that come in as high school guys that actually can compete at this level. So that's a tip of the cap to you.
Yeah, thank you. I was just curious, so I asked my college coach, do you want me to play anywhere this summer? Is there anything I can do? And he said, would you be open to going to Alaska and playing with the Chinooks? And I was like, yes. That sounds awesome. So
Well,
that's pretty much how I got on
I
the
know you're having to deal with something that not a lot of guys have to deal with, and that's the injury. How's the injury coming, and you know, how did something happen in a game, or is it something that's recurred, or what's the scoop on that?
I mean, it's recovering well. I'm feeling a lot better. Like last week, I was having a hard time walking, and this week I'm able to walk pretty well. So it's healing well. Yeah, it happened in game, lower back.
Okay.
So MRI came back positive. There's nothing like broken
Awesome.
or anything.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah. So I think I might have just strained something, or I don't know. But I think it'll recover with time. So we'll see.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting you back on that mound. Talk about, I guess, just anything that stands out the first 3 weeks. You know, whether it's off the field, on the field, anything's just being here in Alaska. Now that you're actually playing here in Alaska Baseball League, anything stood out?
I would say like the camaraderie of our team and how closely we bonded so quickly. And I think that's credit to, discipleship and just being vulnerable with each other and being able to share, how we feel and our struggles and whatnot. It's just bringing us, it's brought us so close together, and it's just awesome to have those relationships right now.
Well, you did a great job today. You shared your Triple H,
Yeah.
and so what was it like sharing that? I mean, I know that, it's not always easy sharing stuff with your peers. What was that like?
That was hard for me. It was because I'm really not good at being vulnerable or sharing. It's just, I don't know. It's something I'm not good at.
Well, you did great today. I'll just tell you. It was awesome to hear your story.
Thank you.
And here's the thing about that, and you've already hit on it. When you share your story, other guys connect with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Right? There's some things that you shared today that are going to help some other guys on this team. And you've probably heard a few things
Yeah.
that probably have helped you in different ways. So
Yeah.
I'm so thankful that you shared what you did. And any shout-outs to folks back home?
Yeah. Shout out to my parents, Gavin and Jamie. Shout out to my brother, Kine, and just everyone who supported me to come here. Thank you all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Kade, thanks for taking a few minutes. I wish you nothing but the best with that back, and I'm looking forward to seeing you throwing in those box scores on the mound. So
Me too.
thanks for the time.
Thank you.
All right, big shout out to Kade Fujioka for his pregame time. And in the interim, we had an error. Luke Stolga had a ground ball to short. Degenhart had it just bounce off his glove. And so another miscue by the Chinooks will put a base runner on board. Here's Jacob Cowles. That ball's drilled to center and right at Jaden Hill. He'll make the catch for out number one. So with one runner aboard, now it's the six hitter, Troy Sanders. Sanders, a solo homer his last time up. He's 1 for 2. He struck out swinging in the second inning. So it's been feast or famine for the Pilots' second baseman. Strikeout in the second, home run in the fourth. So you can close the book on Troy Lopez, as he'll strike out 5 Pilots, give up 4 runs, only one of them earned. The runner is going off of the pitch. That'll be a stolen base for Luke Stolga. So runner at second now with 1 out as the Pilots continue to stay aggressive. Center fielder Stolga with good speed. Now you got to be careful. He might steal third. You better start holding him on. Coming up to Louis Zuleika out there, kind of keeping an eye on him. Next pitch, grounded to short. Degenhart got to play at third. There it is, and that's why you work on it. 6-5, he's out. So nice job by Oliver after making a miscue in the first play of the inning. He throws over to third, and he knows very well you got a runner running across you like that. You throw him out if you can. And so it's 6-5 on the putout, and Sanders aboard with the fielder's choice. Now it's Bo Rico. And Bo Rico, 1 for 2, reached on an error and base hit to left field. That ball is drilled to center. That's a hit. And going to third base, here comes the throw. And really close. David Broughton thought he might have had a tag to play there. He tagged and looked at the umpire, and somehow he's safe. So Sanders gets all the way to third base on the single. Rico will go to second on the throw, so it'll be a 1B8, and Rico on the throw will advance to second. So second and third, 2 outs. Boy, you really need to get this last out here. You're already down 4.
Number 26,
And the
Jake
Pilots, their 8-hitter, Jake Dodge, he's got a 2 RBI single already in this game. He's 1 for 2. Last time up, flew out to right. Swing and a miss, strike 1. So you got to have diving bodies here. You play your defense kind of deep in the infield. And you got to have people that are willing to dive and keep this ball on the infield. The 0-1. Ball's drilled right center. This is trouble. Back toward the wall and off the wall. Jake Dodge, another 2 RBI hit, and this time it's a double. And the Pilots have opened this game up. 2-run score, and it's 6-0. And so, yeah,
for the Pilots.
I think, again, these are all unearned. They're unearned. Because you would have gone 1, 2, 3 if you make that play to lead the inning off. So now it's the 9-hitter, Brendan Shanahan. First pitch is off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Shanahan, a strikeout in the 2nd and a single to left in the 4th. He's 1 for 2 today. Pilots have just played a little add-on baseball. The Chinooks have helped the cause. He had 1 error to lead this inning off. There's a chopper, little roller to short. Dagenhart throws and did get him. So that'll go 6-3 to finish the inning off. But the Pilots, 2 more runs on 2 hits. You leave 1 guy on. They've left 5 on base so far, 4 in scoring position. And we're through 4.5. We're exactly halfway home. It's the Pilots 6 and the Chinooks 0. Welcome back to Chugiak, Alaska on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Glad you're with us. Dr. John Groth, Jonathan Thomas keeping the stats for us today. By the way, if you go to our schedule and click on live stats, you can have all the live stats you want during this game. And so Jonathan doing a great job of keeping up with that. First pitch to David Broughton, swung on and missed, strike 1. Colin Hunter back on the mound here in the 5th inning. Next pitch in there, first strike, 0-2. Your line score, Pilots 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The Chinooks, no runs, 2 hits, 4 errors. So, boy, the defense has really been a bugaboo for the Nooks today. And the Pilots, to their credit, have taken full advantage of the miscues. We've opened the door and they've walked right through it. There's a routine grounder to Sanders at second. He'll throw over, 1 out. So a 2-hit shutout being thrown by Colin Hunter. 1 out here in the 5th, and it's Brady Groves for the second time. He struck out swinging his first time up. And there's my lovely wife, Kitty, with my Coca-Cola. Thank you. It's becoming a habit here. I'm not addicted to Coke, but tell you what, it just sounded good today. And first pitch, a little chopper to third. And you got to throw quickly, and they got him. Bang, bang play by Chase Knight at third base. And there's 2 outs. So 4-3, 5-3. And now with 2 outs, it's the 8-hitter, Keaton Laidley. Well, you want to make Colin Hunter work a little harder. So far, just a couple of pitches in this 5th inning. First pitch swinging, and you foul it off. The Pilots with 10 hits today. Ball was low. 1 ball, 1 strike. 4 o'clock start today on a Saturday afternoon. 2 o'clock start tomorrow on Sunday. So if you're on the area, boy, come on out. Watch some great Chinook baseball. Tomorrow the Miners come to Lee Jordan Field. All right, Brian Groves checking in. And swing and a miss, and there's your inning. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across for the Nooks. That's strikeout number 5 for starting pitcher Colin Hunter. And he's now retired 9 Chinooks in a row as we go to the top of the 6th. Pilots hold on to a 6-0 lead. Back in just a minute. Welcome back to Chugiak, Alaska. Dr. John Groth with you on the play-by-play. Peyton Neiman will stay in the game for the Chinooks. Second pitcher of the game. Troy Lopez went 4 innings today. Probably deserved a better fate. Gave up 4 runs. Only one of them earned. The solo home run by Troy Sanders was the only earned run given up in this game so far. So 5 of the 6 unearned. And top of the lineup for the Pilots, Chase Knight, the third baseman, for the 4th time. Knight is 1 for 3, and he takes strike 1 from Peyton Neiman. That was pitch number 14 for Peyton. He threw 13 last inning. Full windup. Miss low. Thank you for the kind words from Mr. Brian Groves from Youngsville, North Carolina. We are headed to Xenia tomorrow. My wife and I'll call tomorrow's game, and then we'll actually probably leave straight from the ballpark to go to the airport. Fly ball center field, Jaden Hill, easy play, and there's 1 out. We will head down, we'll head down to Xenia, Ohio, and we'll help out. We'll be serving with the Xenia Scouts, which is a team that's exactly like the Chinooks in the Great Lakes League. And you've heard these guys talk all summer about how impactful this summer has been for them, especially in that time, that 90 minutes a day we spend just kind of talking and working through God's Word, opening up to each other, sharing our stories. And boy, today was one of those days. We shared 3 of them got up and shared in front of the Pilots today before batting practice. Next pitch misses. It's 2 balls, no strikes. So we had Jaden Hill that introduced Athletes in Action to the Pilots, and then Braden Adams shared his testimony of faith. And then it was Tim Reynolds, who actually has got hit by a pitch in his last game here against the Pilots. He shared the gospel. We have gospel cards that we hand out to each player and coach. sit over in front of their dugouts. We hit batting practice about 15 minutes early, and then right prior to the other team hitting batting practice, we sit in front of the dugout on the turf, and we go through those 3 things, and very powerful. Boy, off the end of the bat, and Peyton, no shot. Well, did he get him? Got him. Mr. Umpire, calm, cool, and collected, took his time making the call. So a nice play by Peyton Neiman. He does play a little infield, and he's played some outfield, so he's an athlete a little bit. And he got that ball to first base. And I will say this, that for whatever reason, that was Hefner running, wasn't it? And he usually runs pretty good. I was a little surprised at how slow he got down the line. I didn't think there was any shot for Peyton to get that out, but he did. So getting back to what we did today, we do this on the second to last home game that we play each team here at Lee Jordan Field. One year we waited till the last home game, and there's a line drive into right that's going to fall down. Just kind of fought that pitch off. He's going to second. Now he's going to pull the brakes on. Nicely done there by Orion Medeiros to keep him at a single. Marks had that ball kind of off the end of the bat, and he was thinking about going to second, but he holds up when Orion got over there and rifled it in quickly. So 2 outs, runner at first. Here's Luke Stolga. Stolga is 0 for 3, strikeout looking, grounder to third on a really nice play by Jacob Hayes that came off the bag, and he reached out an error his last time up. First pitch hit him. First pitch right off the arm. So a hit batter will give him a free pass. First and second, 2 outs. Boy, the Chinooks have been their own worst enemy today. And you already are down 6. You don't need to. And to the credit of the Pilots, they have done a lot of the damage with 2 outs today. Tim Cole's looking down to the bullpen, and he wants to get somebody going. So we might have a visit here, and Coach Cole's going to go out and have a chat with Peyton. So getting back to what we did today, we do this. The first couple of years up here, we shared the gospel like we did today with every team on the last game that we played them. But what happened one year is that we got rained out. And so we never did get to share the gospel with one of those teams. And so what we started doing was on the second to last day on the schedule, the second to last time they play here at Lee Jordan, we asked the coaches, hey, can we take a few minutes of our batting practice time? We actually start a little earlier and share something that's important to us. And so that's what we did today. I did a brief intro. Jaden Hill introduced Athletes in Action, and Braden Adams shared his personal testimony. And then it was Tim Reynolds that shared the gospel card. And really all 3 of those guys did a great job. I know you parents would be very proud of your young men who are really kind of growing in a lot of different ways. Getting up in front of your peers at a baseball field and talking about your faith journey and about the team that you're playing on is really a big step in the life of a young man. So really proud of those 3 guys. They did an outstanding job. And then Coach Cole comes in at the very end, kind of puts a bow on it, and talks about some different things about the club, our organization, and has a kind of a prayer of challenge and commitment. And then they go ahead and hit their batting practice. So really good opportunity. That's part of what we do every summer against every team we play. So in the interim here, we've had a pitching change. And so coming in now is Jacob Hayes, and let's see what we're going to do here. As with Hayes coming in, we're going to probably go to that 9-man lineup. And, well, Laidley will probably go in. I guess we're probably going to have Keaton Laidley play first base. That's what I'm guessing. I don't see him out there yet, but okay. So, no, it's not Laidley. Okay, so Jordan Jaffe is going to come in, and Jaffe will be in the 8th spot, and there will no longer be a DH.
So Hayes goes first to the mound, and then Jaffe is in the DH spot?
Yep.
Yep, okay.
Perfect. Thanks, Casey. So you scrub the DH for the moment, actually for the rest of the game. And this is the luxury of having guys like Jacob Hayes and some of these two-way guys. They start the game on a position, and they can come in and give you some good innings. So Hayes will come in, and he'll take over for Neiman. And with 2 outs and 2 on, it's Jacob Kaus. And we've seen Jacob Hayes in this role a number of times where he's just called upon to just try to get the Nooks through an inning or two. And you do have, looks like Gavin Aletti starting to get his body ready down there. And so we might see Aletti a little later today. Right now, he's not throwing yet. So for now, it's Jacob Hayes to try to put the fire out here in inning number 6. 6-0 Pilots. And that pitch is outside, ball 1. Stepping in is Jacob Kaus. Kaus hit a double in the 2nd inning, a ground ball to second in the 3rd inning, and he lined out to center field his last time up in the 5th. Well, we have one more interview to go, and that ball's hit. Right field, trouble, back, and not going to get it. One hops the fence. 1 run is in. The 2nd run is going to be held at 3rd base. So it's a 2-out double for Kaus. Not really sure why that 2nd runner was held. I'm not sure if he was running like he should have been. He should have been off at the races there, and that ball hung up forever. He held at 3rd base, so it's a double to right field for Kaus, his 2nd double of the ball game, and it's now 7-0. And it looks like we got a pinch hitter, well, no, we don't, 5. You're going to have a pinch runner. And that's maybe, so 24 is going to run for 3. And that's Stolga. Okay, so let's just see who 24 is. Okay, so Logan Sanders is going to take over, and he'll probably go to center field. He's played center in this this season, and so the other one of the other Sanders brothers. So out of the game goes Stolga, into the game goes Sanders. He's at 3rd, 2nd and 3rd 2 outs, and his brother Troy is at the plate. He's already got a solo home run today. It's 1 for 3. First pitch, just off the plate, ball 1. Pretty good spot.
Batting for the Pilots, number 5, Troy Sanders.
Yeah, Logan Sanders running at 3rd. His brother Troy at the plate. Jacob Hayes trying to get this inning finished for the Chinooks. And there's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 7-0 now. Pilots. This thing is starting to get out of hand. And if you don't watch yourself, you're going to be in a run rule situation. There is a run rule after 7. It's 10 runs after 7 innings. And you had Aletti up, and now he's not doing anything. So for now, it's Jacob Hayes. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're at the top of the 6th. And the Pilots have just played add-on baseball. The Chinooks have done their share to help the cause. As we got some helicopters about to head over. 7-12-0 for the Pilots. 0-2-4 for the Nooks. Might be some Chinook helicopters in a minute. Pop up. This should end the inning. Boy, it might be a no man's land out in short right field, and over the shoulder, Louis Zuleika. Little Willie Mays style there. Say hey. That's going to go F4, and Zuleika just saved 2 runs. But the Pilots do get 1 run on 2 hits. They leave 2 guys on, and we're through 5.5 here at Lee Jordan Field. Your new score: Pilots 7, Chinooks 0. Ryan Medeiros to lead it off for the Chinooks here, and they need to start working on getting some runs. Starting pitcher Colin Hunter, what a nice job he's done. He's got a 2-hit shutout going as we play on in the bottom of the 6th inning. Full windup, swing and a miss. Boy, just like that, 0-2. Orion has had a good, it's good to see him back in the lineup today. A ball right back to the mound his first time up. This is a second plate appearance. As Chinooks, a 2-hit shutout, you just don't have, the Pilots are working through their 4th time through the lineup. Chinooks still just 2 at-bats. There's a line drive, base hit, and Medeiros gets things started here in the Chinooks 6th inning. There you go. Just what the doctor ordered. So good to see him back in the lineup. Thank you, Lord, that his health has got back, and he's back in there. So now it's top of the lineup, and it's Oliver Dagenhart for the 3rd time. Fly ball to right and a strikeout. He's 0 for 2. Next pitch in there for a strike. All right, Mr. Hayes has checked in from Anacortes, Windsor, Colorado. Well, appreciate the kind remarks there, and my wife and I will be taking off after the game tomorrow. Ground ball up the middle, could be 2. Oh, you drop it. Everybody's safe. Or did he get it? Oh, he picked it up at the last minute. Boy, good job by Troy Sanders. He bobbled that ball. That was absolutely double play all over it. And he dropped it. And he was close enough to second to step on the bag. So it'll go as a 4U fielder's choice. And out at second is Medeiros. And Oliver at first base with 1 out. Here's Louis Zuleika. Boy, you need to score some runs here. If the Pilots keep scoring runs, we're going to shorten this game. I believe we got a 10-run rule after 7, and we have not been able to stop the bleeding. We need to start chipping away here. Try to make it a full 9-inning game. Swings and fouls that one off quickly, 0-2. Tell you what, one of the things that Colin Hunter has done so well today is he's worked ahead of these Chinook hitters. I mean, every time you look up, it's 0-1, 0-2. All right, nice. So Miss Corby Dodge has checked in. Let us know that Jake Dodge helped start FCA. There's a ground ball to second. 6 and 4 and 3. There's that routine double play we just talked about. And that'll do it. The Chinooks, no runs on 1 hit. They leave nobody on. We're through 6 innings here at Lee Jordan. Glad you're with us. And we'll be back in just a minute with the 7th inning for the Pilots. 7, 8, 9. Bo Rico, Jake Dodge, and Brendan Shanahan. Back in just a minute. All right, the Chinooks are hitting batting practice. We are back at the friendly confines of Lee Jordan Field. We're here with Gavin Aletti. And Gavin, thanks for taking a few minutes. You were a little bit late coming in, but I'm asking all the guys kind of the same thing. Talk about your hometown. Talk about what position you play, what school you play for, and maybe talk about how you ended up being a Chugiak Eagle River Chinook.
Yes, sir. So I'm from Searcy, Arkansas. Me and Kate Smith both went to the same high school. But now I play, I'm a pitcher at the University of Central Arkansas. I was there all year, and basically at the end of the year, I was looking for a place to play summer ball, and we were just talking about it. I played for high school for Shane Fullerton, and both of his sons played for the Chinooks, and when I went to him, he's like my second dad. When I went to him looking for a place to play, his first response was, "You need to go to Alaska and play for the Chinooks." So he called Coach. I think he called maybe you, but trying to find me a spot, and just worked out where there was 2 spots for me and Kade, and it was kind of a cool deal to see how it all worked out and how God moved in our lives and got us out
is
here.
Kade from Searcy too?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So,
I just remembering the roster. I said,
Yeah.
you got 2 guys from Searcy.
yeah, so we both went to Harding Academy.
Well,
so.
those Fulton brothers were a big part of the Chinook team for a number of years.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And of course, I've met the dad, and it's so cool to hear the impact a coach has on your life, right?
Yes, sir.
And we talked about mentoring today and discipleship, so it just speaks to that.
Yes, sir.
Talk about your experiences so far. You've been here a little bit less than some of the other guys, but you've still been here a couple weeks. What have been some of the memorable things that have happened so far in your time here as a Chinook?
Yeah, obviously discipleship has been really big. I mean, my relationship with Christ has gotten a ton better over the past year, and so just growing on that and being around other believers that actually act out their faith has been really big. Just obviously the beauty of the state's been really cool to see. Gone hiking, done a bunch of stuff on our off days, but really just getting to play competitive baseball too has been really awesome. And so I mean, I've gotten better in every aspect of my life so far being here, and I've only been here for 2 weeks, so I'm really excited to see how the rest of the summer goes.
Well, I know I'm excited for you. I know that I appreciate you helping out last week when we had a really short notice on a community service project, but you just jumped right in and filled in. So any other thoughts about your experiences so far here? On or off the field? Anything funny or exciting happen? Any wildlife encounters yet?
No, so very first day I was here, I got to see 3 moose.
Oh man!
And I haven't seen anything since then. So I'm kind of
They're hiding from you.
Yeah, we went to the nature center the other day on our off day, and we didn't see a single animal.
Okay.
And so I'm still trying to see a bear. I got to see a bear, and then
That's
apparently
where I'll tell you right now. Over the years, I've been coming up here 12 years, and the guys that have seen bear have been up in that area of Eagle River. So.
Yeah.
Stay in the vehicle if you see them.
Yeah.
Be careful. We've had some close encounters over the years with those guys. So, all right, last thing, any shout-outs back home?
I want to shout out my mom, my dad, and then I have a 1-year-old nephew, Cash, who's he just turned 1 on the 2nd, and I didn't. So I was working FCA camp, so I didn't get to see him. So missed those guys, but I'm excited. They're coming up the 3rd, so I'll get to see them.
Good.
I'll be good.
Well, Gavin, thanks for saying yes to coming to play in this team. Thanks for taking time, and I hope the rest of the summer is just as good or better than the first part of it.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for talking to me.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right, big shout out to Gavin Aletti, and in the interim here, a base hit by Bo Rico, and then a nifty double play that went Jacob Hayes to Oliver Dagenhart over to the new first baseman, which is Jordan Jaffe. So Jaffe comes in the 8th spot, and he'll get the last relay throw from shortstop Dagenhart. So 1-6-3 if you're scoring at the house after the single that opened the inning by Bo Rico. Here's the 9-hitter now, Brendan Shanahan. 1 for 3 for Shanahan, swing and a miss, 1-1. Shanahan struck out in the 2nd, base hit to left in the 4th, and grounded out to short to end the 5th inning. 7-0 Pilots. It's almost time to stretch it out here at the ballpark. And the Pilots in full command, 7-0. Next pitch. That's going to miss low. I think we're 2-1 here. Scoreboard on a day like today, you can't. It's hard to see the lights. I'm not sure if we need to recharge the batteries on that thing or what, but they're very faint out there. In the evening, it's fine. There's a ground ball to 3rd. Broughton ranges over, makes a really nice play. David Broughton flashing the leather there. 5-3 if you're scoring at the house. 2 really good defensive plays on a day when you haven't had the good defense. The Chinooks really do a nice job of flashing the leather in the 7th. And we are at stretch time here. And we'll go into the bottom of the 7th for the Chinooks, the meat of their lineup. 3, 4, 5. Hill, Hayes, and Rickabaugh scheduled to come up. The Pilots hold on to a 7-0 lead. All right, bottom of the 7th inning, and the Chinooks will bring Jaden Hill to the plate. A new pitcher for the Pilots, so what a nice job by Colin Hunter as he ends up throwing shutout baseball for 6 innings. And unofficially here, let's see, he struck out, unofficially 5 Chinooks through 68 pitches in 6 innings. So impressive start for Colin Hunter. He's in line for the win. Now it's Tommy Bean, 6'7", 205, a right-hand sophomore from West Virginia University. He's out of Pittsburgh, PA. First pitch swung on, foul down the first baseline, foul. Strike 1 to Jaden Hill. Jaden 0 for 2, couple of ground ball outs, 1 to short, 1 to second. So that'll do it for all of our interviews. We've gotten through the whole roster, the whole coaching staff, and a couple of the sports staff as well. Look out! That ball's hit up the middle. Hefner fields it, throws to first base, and there's one out. The bat went flying over toward the Pilot. Actually, it went toward Colonel Ted. Did he break it? Well, he broke the bat, and the lion's share of that bat went right at Colonel Ted McGovern, coaching first base. So it'll go in the scorebook as a routine 6-3, but that was anything but routine as Jaden Hill takes 2 pieces of his bat back to the dugout. 1 up, 1 down. Now it's Jacob Hayes. Jacob 1 for 2. A big sweeping breaking ball right over the heart of the plate, strike 1. Big long arms here. Tommy Bean. We've seen Tommy a couple of times this summer. And 6'7". There's a chopper foul. Quickly 0-2. The thing about guys like this that I remember as a player, one of the things that gives them an advantage is they're so long and tall. They have a long stride in their hand. By the time that ball comes out of their hand, it's closer to you than most pitchers. And so you got less time to react. And their fastball is high. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Beam steps in. Let's see if you can give you some numbers on him. Swing and a miss, struck him out. So quickly 2 outs here. First strikeout for Beam. That's 6 strikeouts for Pilot pitching today. And stepping in for the Chinooks is R.J. Rickabaugh. For Tommy Beam, this will be appearance number 5 of the summer. All of them out of the bullpen. He's actually 2-0 with a 4.00 ERA. 9 innings pitched. He's got 12 strikeouts and 3 walks. Opposing batters hitting just 206 off the right-hander. So he's having a nice summer. Boy, he paints the outside, strike 1. So working ahead of these Chinook hitters here in the 7th is R.J. Rickabaugh takes strike 1. I hope you got out of your chair and stretched it out. 7th inning stretch time. That pitch misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. So we'll have one more game for us before we head to Xenia in 2 o'clock tomorrow. Hope you can join the broadcast. Ground ball right side, and Sanders dove but couldn't make the play. That'll be a hit as Rickabaugh hits a hard ground ball, and second baseman Troy Sanders made his best effort, but I'm going to go 1B9 on that. Actually, he did touch the ball, but the ball trickled into right field for a 2-out single. Now David Broughton for the 3rd time. Strikeout, swinging, and a ground ball to second. Broughton 0 for 2. So that's just the 3rd hit of the game for the Chinooks. As another nice pitching outing for Colin Hunter. And now they got the big right-hander, Tommy Bean, to come in and try to finish this thing off. They got guys in their bullpen kind of stretching out. We'll have to keep an eye on Beam, see if he stays in here. That pitch is in there. Well, it's not often that you got a bullpen guy that is 2-0. And so he's gotten a couple of vulture wins. He hasn't started a game yet. The ball's just inside. Can hear that from here. Mr. Umpire screaming it out. 1-2, 2 outs. Chinooks would take anything they can get here. Trail 7-0. Pitch from Beam. Swing and a miss, and there's your inning. Couple of strikeouts. Really good pitch right there by relief pitcher Tommy Bean. His 2nd of the inning, the 7th of the ball game for Pilot pitchers. No runs on 1 hit. You leave 1 guy on. We are through 7 here at Lee Jordan Field. And the Pilots in full command, 7-0. All right, so now all three Sanders brothers in the game. Marcus will hit in the leadoff spot for Chase Knight, and he'll lead off the 8th inning. 7-0 Pilots. Jacob Hayes back on the mound for the Chinooks. First pitch swung on and missed, strike one. Hayes came on in the 5th inning, and he continues here in inning number 8. Next pitch fouled off. Unofficially here, the Pilots have left 7 on base, 6 in scoring position. The Chinooks, 3 on base, 2 in scoring position. So the Chinooks just haven't had a lot of traffic in this one. And the Pilots have been really efficient at taking full advantage of some of the early miscues. 7-0 our score. 0-2 count on pinch hitter Marcus Sanders. They're saying it hit him. Barely tipped him, and he didn't flinch at all. So, I don't know, man. I get frustrated with these batters get up there with those Evo shields on their arms, and he didn't move at all to get out of the way of that, and somehow it just barely tipped him. So it'll be a hit batter for Marcus Sanders. He'll reach base with nobody out, and now it's Luke Hefner for the 5th time today. We're working through that lineup the 5th time. First pitch, and that's a wild pitch. It gets past RJ all the way to the screen. And so now it's another free base that the Chinooks have offered. So Hefner now with a runner at second, nobody out. Luke Hefner today is 1 for 4. Base hit to left his first time up. He lined out to the third baseman in the 2nd inning, reached on an error in the 4th, and hit a comebacker to the pitcher in the 6th inning. We're in the top of the 8th. Fouls that one off. One ball, one strike on the Pilot shortstop. Had a chat with him and his brother the other day. Reminded them that my daughter babysat. Fly ball center, it is shallow, and Hill comes in, makes the sliding catch. Nice job out there by Jaden Hill. Put a star by that one, F8. And there's one out here in the 8th inning. Now it's Dylan Marks, and we're going to have another pinch hitter, number 15. And that's going to be
Batting for the Pilots, number 15, Jack Dorn.
Jack Dorn. We've seen this young man earlier this summer. So Dorn batting for Marks in the 3 spot. So we've had a couple of subs here. Dorn, I think, pretty much an outfielder by trade, so he'll probably stay in right field. We'll have to see if Marcus Sanders goes to third base or not. I'm not sure he's an infielder. He could be. I have all these guys memorized here. Yeah, he's listed as an infielder, so he'll probably go in there and play third. Next pitch, swing and a miss. So you got runner at second base. Marcus Sanders got hit by a pitch and then got wild pitch to second. Hefner just flew out on a really nice play by Jaden Hill in center field, and now it's pinch hitter Jack Dorn. Fastball just misses, not by much. The Pilots start putting some reserve players in, giving them some at-bats here in a game that they feel is comfortably in hand, 7-0 in the 8th. Definitely have seen more than that fall by the wayside, but the Chinooks have not been able to really string much together at all. I think Jonathan and I looking between innings, 4 hits, a 4-hit shutout, being thrown by Colin Hunter and Tommy Bean. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Jack Dorn. Jacob Hayes now 24 pitches. The kick, the pitch, misses inside. RJ, nice job of keeping that ball at home plate. That could have got to the screen and would have moved the runner, Marcus Sanders, over to third base. Full count with 1 out here in the 8th. And you got nobody in that bullpen. Nice crowd today. I'm looking around. We got lawn chairs all the way down both sides, so it's really encouraging. Swing and a miss, got him. So nice job by Jacob Hayes to come back there and get the punch out. So 2 outs in the inning. That'll be Jacob's first strikeout since coming in the 5th inning. And let's see for Chinook
Now
pitching.
batting for the Pilots, number 24, Logan Sanders.
Logan Sanders will step in for the 2nd time. Actually, this is his first at bat. He came in as a pinch runner, and so this will be his first plate appearance of the game. Trying to see how many strikeouts Chinook pitchers unofficially, maybe 6, 5. Unofficially, that's 6 strikeouts for Chinook pitchers. 3 pitchers for the Chinooks. Troy Lopez started, then it was Peyton Neiman in the 5th. Jacob Hayes came on in inning number 6. Here's the 1-0. Big hack, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, I guess I should be reminded Logan Sanders is the one of the only pilots that has that camo helmet. Well, the guy's got the blue one. Next pitch, that's low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Yeah. 3 brothers, the Sanders brothers, and I believe they're all in the game now. We've had this happen earlier in the season where they were all in the starting lineup, and sometimes the subs will be made, and so kind of cool to be able to play. I got to play summer ball with a couple of my brothers. In fact, one year I played with 2 of them, and there was times where 3 of us were in the lineup. So that was I have a brother that's 4 years older than me, and then one that's 9 years older than me. And it's amazing that my oldest brother was still playing then, but he was. Some little summer ball is a men's, or kind of a high A league in Northeast Ohio. Strike 3, got him. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jacob Hayes. And 7 strikeouts for the Chinook pitchers. But, man, they trail at 7-0. You got to work at it here. You got to put something together, maybe put a couple of runs on the board and make that 9th inning a little more interesting. Right now, the Pilots lead 7-0. Back in just a minute. Seven, 8, 9 for the Chinooks here. This is Brady Groves to lead it off. First pitch is outside, ball one. Brady on the day, a strikeout, ground out to third, 0 for 2. So, anyways, appreciate all the remarks on the live chat. Next pitch is in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. And glad to hear from Mr. Dodge talking about the FCA at Santa Barbara and growing to 26 athletes. That's encouraging. And there's a ground ball to short. This is Hefner fielding, throwing, 1 out. Just so that some of the pilot viewers that may not know, the Chinooks are the only faith-based team in the Alaska Baseball League. Their parent ministry is called Crew, and the sports ministry of Crew is in Xenia, Ohio. Their headquarters are in Xenia, so the same place where the Xenia Scouts play. They got a beautiful stadium there. They got it's like a mini college campus. They got a full turfed soccer football field, 2 softball fields, a track, full exercise facility. They've just opened a John Wooden basketball center, and so and they've got a dormitory with meeting room and all the whole 9 yards. And that's where the ministry is based, the Athletes in Action Ministry. And so there's a fly ball to right field, and well, you got to battle the sun a little bit, but nice job by the new right fielder. And the new right fielder, who did we say that was? It's Jack Dorn out there making that play. So F9 if you're scoring at the house. 2 up, 2 down in the 8th inning. Here's the 9-hitter, Orion Medeiros. 1 for 2 for Orion. Base hit to left his last time up. So what we were talking about earlier, there's a team just like the Chinooks that's a faith-based team in the Great Lakes League, and they play in that league with teams from Ohio, Indiana, and Michigan, just like the Chinooks play in the Alaska Baseball League. So very similar setup as Orion swings through that pitch, and it's quickly 0-2. Boy, Tommy Beam is making short work of this Chinook lineup. And he had 13 pitches in his first inning of work, and this inning could be even shorter, and there it is, strike 3, and the inning is over. Strikeout number 3 for Beam. That's 8 strikeouts for Pilot pitching, and we're headed to the 9th inning. It's the Pilot 7 and the Chinooks 0. Jacob Cowles to lead it off for the Pilots as we play on in the top of the 9th inning. First pitch dropped by RJ, ball 1. Pilots 7 runs on 13 hits, no errors. The Chinooks, no runs, 4 hits, 4 errors for the Nooks today. Those errors were big in this one. That pitch is right down Broadway, strike 1. So we'll have one more ball game to call, and I'm not exactly sure who's going to give it a go. I think Tim Bartow is going to try to give it a go here on the play-by-play. So we'll see. Might have a myriad of Chinook guest broadcasters. I don't know how they're going to handle it, but I'm sure it'll be good. But I do appreciate the kind remarks from some of you today. Appreciate the well wishes going to Ohio. We will certainly miss being in Alaska. This is our 12th summer. There's a little looper into left field, and boy, what a catch by Ollie Dagenhart. Ran that thing down. He just outran it for out number 1, F6. Another star for the Chinook defense. As bad a defense as we played early in this game, the second half of the ball game, I've got 3 or 4 stars by plays for the Chinook defense. So they flashed the leather a little bit, but it was too little too late. Gave up a lot of unearned runs to get this one out of reach here a little bit. First pitch called a strike to Troy Sanders. Sanders a solo home run back in the 4th inning. He scored twice. It's 1 for 4 on the day. Next pitch, and something's amiss here. I'm saying, so that play, that is not a hit. That's a 6-5 fielder's choice. He's got him 2 for 4 today. He's 1 for 4. Line drive, base hit. Good piece of hitting right there. Now he's 2 for 5. Solid single, and we've seen that all day as well. A lot of these Pilot hitters, they've done a really nice job of going the other way when the ball was away from them. So another job there. 1 out, 1 aboard for Bo Rico.
Batting for the Pilots, number 19, Bo Rico.
So on Troy Sanders' 3rd at bat, he might have given him a hit. That was a 6-5 fielder's choice. That is not a hit. First pitch misses, ball 1. Bo Rico reached on an error. He's got 3 hits since then. He's 3 for 4 today. And he's driven in 4 of the Pilot runs. So big part of their offense. Fights that one off, and it's fouled off. And we're 1 ball, 1 strike. So Rico with a really nice ball game. He's scored 3 times. He's driven, well, has he scored 3? I'm not sure that's true. Yeah, maybe so. I may have missed that. Well, either way, it's a 1-1 count as Jacob tries to keep Troy Sanders close to first base there. We are in the 7 spot for the Pilot lineup, and tell you what, they've had really good production in the bottom half of their lineup. Troy Sanders, Bo Rico, Jake Dodge, and Shanahan have really produced really most of their offense today, which is a real shot in the arm. Normally the offense comes from the first 5 or 6 spots, but not today for the Pilots. Ground ball foul, third base side. They have done, the Chinooks made some errors early in this game, and as we've mentioned here, the Pilots, almost every time the Nooks made an error and opened the door, the Pilots just came running right through. Got the big 2-out hit a couple of times here to really allow them to expand the lead. Up the middle and off the glove of Hayes, he'll flip it to second for 1. It goes 1 to 4 to 6 on the force out. 1, 4, 6 fielder's choice. And so Sanders is out at second base on the 1, 4, 6. And Rico reaches on the 1, 4, 6 fielder's choice. And now it's the 8-hitter, Jake Dodge. And what a day he's had. He's driven in 4 runs today. First pitch just a bit low, ball 1. 2 for 4 for Jake Dodge. He grounded into a double play his last time up. He's got a 2-run double and a 2-run single in this game. Again, in the 8 spot, that's great productivity. Fouls that one straight back as our camera is going to shake a little bit. Kind of like an earthquake. Sam Kwapnowski with the good hustle. Getting that foul ball. Run at first with 2 outs. The pitch off the plate. An extended outing here for Jacob Hayes today. He has 43 pitches and Actually 46 now with this at bat. Might be one of his longest outings of the summer. Chewing up some important innings for the bullpen. Just outside, not by much. 3 balls and a strike. 2 outs, runner at first base. Jake Dodge at the plate. He's trying to get his 3rd hit of the day. Boy, little flare into center. Who's going to get there? Nobody. And all the way to third base, you come up throwing and not going to get him. So, man, it's almost like a broken bat single. It's the 3rd hit of the day for Jake Dodge. 1B, actually ended up 1B7 because Brady Groves fielded that ball. And he quickly threw to third base, but Bo Rico able to get over there. So you got runners in the corners with 2 outs, and now it's the 9-hitter, Brendan Shanahan, for the 5th time. So the Pilots are going to bat through their lineup 5 times in this game. And Shanahan 1 for 4 coming into this at bat. First pitch. Hammered but foul. That's down in the Chinook bullpen. Strike 1. Well, the good news for the Chinooks, if you can't quite come up with 8 runs in the 9th inning, is you turn around and have another game tomorrow. 2 o'clock start against the Miners. Next pitch. Swing and a miss, and there's your inning. Nicely done by Jacob Hayes. Boy, tip of the cap to Jacob. He chews up a bunch of innings in this game, and that will help the bullpen in a stretch where you play a lot of home games in a row. Let's see, that's strikeout number 3 for Hayes. The Chinooks, if they can't come back here, they have struck out 8 Pilots in this game, and that'll end the 9th inning for the Pilots. They get no runs on 1 hit. They leave 2 guys on. So for the game, the Pilots will end up leaving 10 guys on base and 8 of them in scoring position. So it could have been worse for the Chinooks. And Jacob Hayes is going to finish up with 52 pitches. And tip of the cap to Jacob as he chews up some big innings and saves the bullpen for tomorrow. Well, I've seen it happen before, sports fans, so you got to put on your rally caps for the bottom of the 9th inning. For the Chinooks, it'll be the top of the lineup: Dagenhart, Zuleika, Jaden Hill. They trail 7-0. First pitch to Ollie Davinghart in there for a strike, and Tommy Bean continues to pound the strike zone. As we play in the bottom of the ninth, you need 7 to tie, 8 to walk them off. Reaches for a breaking ball up in front. It's over in front of the Pilot dugout and caught. Nicely done by the catcher, Bo Rico. He went right in front of that Pilot dugout and made a really nice play. Put a star by that one. PO2. 1 out in the ninth. You're down to your last 2 outs. Louis Zuleika for the 4th time. Louis 0 for 4. Little tapper to the catcher, ground ball to third. He hit into a 6-4-3 double play to end the 6th inning. Louis 0 for 3 today. And Tommy Bean, who came on in the 7th. And I don't know, rules may say that he gets a save here because he pitched 3 innings. I don't know. It maybe not because of this lead. I thought if you pitched a 3-inning effective relief pitch, I'm going to go over and ask Casey after it's over. So before we wrap this one up, I'll go over and ask him because something tells me if you pitch 3 effective innings, even if you got a big lead, you might be in line for a save. And that's about what Tommy Bean's about to do. That ball's well hit to center, but it's going to be right at the center fielder for out number 2. That is now Logan Sanders out there. And L8 in my scorebook. 2 up, 2 down. You're down to your last out. Jaden Hill. Jaden Hill's grounded out 3 times. 6-3, 4-3, 6-3. And keep the rally caps on for the moment. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Really good pitching by Colin Hunter and Tommy Beam. Is that what the rules say about a save? Can you get... Okay, so it looks like Tommy Beam would be in line for a save today. And if he can hold on to this lead here, that would be his 2nd save of the year. Two balls and a strike. Colin Hunter looking to get his first win of the summer. Ground ball to second, this should do it. Sanders backs up, throws to first base, there's your ball game. 4-3 if you're scoring at the house for the Nooks. No runs, no hits, no errors. And that will wrap it up here on a Saturday afternoon. And we'll go ahead and wrap this one up here. Let's pull up the line score, give you some numbers, and let you know what's next for both of these clubs.
Their support of Chinook baseball. It's going to be a fast turnaround. We're back here tomorrow at 2 p.m. We don't really do a lot of 2 p.m. games, so it's going to be great to have some early baseball going on. We're going to go up against the Miners.
7 runs on 14 hits, and no errors for the Pilots. For the Chinooks, no runs on 4 hits. The Chinooks committed 4 errors today, and they came at key times in this ball game. And so you had some pretty clean baseball from the 7th inning on. All you had was zeros. But the damage was done in the first half of this game. Let's go back and go through the scoring here. The Pilots would take a 2-0 lead in the 2nd inning. And what opened the door was a pop fly in the infield that was misplayed. And right after that, you had Jake Dodge with a big 2-run single up the middle. And so 2 runs were in, both of them unearned. It was 2-0 Pilots. The Pilots would do the same thing in the 4th inning as they would score 2 more runs. One of them was earned. Troy Sanders led the inning off with a laser beam home run over the left field fence to lead the inning off. But an error later in that inning opened the door for a 2nd run to score, and it was 4-0 Pilots. The Pilots would score 2 more in the 5th inning, and that inning would be opened up by an error. And so the miscues in the early part of this game really opened the door, but the Pilots took full advantage. Another 2-run hit, this time a double by Jake Dodge was the big hit in the 5th inning, and it was 6-0 Pilots. In the 6th inning, the Pilots would get a run. They would string some hits together, and that would be an earned run in that 6th inning. So I guess 2 of the 7 runs were earned. It would be a single by Marks, hit batter Stolga, and then an RBI double by Cows. And that would be the final run of the game. And, boy, what a job by Colin Hunter and Tommy Beam. They would scatter just 4 Chinook hits and shutting out the Nooks here on their home field on a Saturday afternoon. So let's look at the box scores and give you some stars of the game, and then we'll let you know what's next for both these teams. Let's see. On the Anchorage Glacier Pilots side, let's see here. I'm telling you, the bottom part of their lineup was the bugaboo for the Nooks today. Jacob Cowes, 2 for 5 with an RBI and 2 doubles. Troy Sanders was 2 for 5 with 2 runs scored. He drove a run in. And what about Jake Dodge? 3 for 5, 4 runs driven in for Jake Dodge, the first baseman. Those are your stars of the game for the Pilots today. And for the Chinooks on the offensive side, well, you had nobody with more than 1 hit. Jacob Hayes had an infield single. You had R.J. Rickaball with 1 hit. You had Keaton Laidley was 1 for 2 today. And then Orion Medeiros, good to see him out there, 1 for 3 today for the Nooks. That accounts for all 4 of the hits. They couldn't do anything with any of those base hits and getting shut out today. On the pitching side of it for the Chinooks, the starting pitcher was Troy Lopez. He actually had a nice outing. 4 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 runs. Only one of those 4 were earned. He walked nobody, struck out 5 Pilots, faced 21 batters. He threw 75 pitches. He would turn the ball over to Peyton Neiman for an inning and 2/3. Peyton would give up 3 hits, 3 runs. 1 of them was earned. He didn't strike out a batter. He didn't walk a batter. Faced 10 Pilots and threw 24 pitches. Then it was Jacob Hayes, and what a job he did coming in and chewing up 3 1/3 innings for that bullpen. Jacob gave up 4 hits. He did not give up any runs, didn't walk anybody, struck out 3 Pilots. He faced 14 batters and threw a total of 52 pitches. But to me, the Pilot offense taking full advantage of the miscues, but the story of this game would be the pitching. Colin Hunter, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs. He didn't walk a batter, struck out 5 Chinooks. He faced 20 batters and threw 68 pitches. And then it was Tommy Beam getting a 3-inning save. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, no walks, 3 strikeouts, faced 10 batters. He would throw 31 pitches. So Colin Hunter will be your winning pitcher. He will go to 1-2 on the year. First win of the year for Hunter. And your losing pitcher, it will be Troy Lopez. And Troy will now drop to 1-2 on the year. And Tommy Beam will get save number 2. Is a 3-inning save. For him, did a good job coming in and just pumping strikes. And not only pumping strikes, but good strikes. And good movement on his off-speed. It was just a day where the Chinooks didn't play their best baseball, and the Pilots played pretty good. They got really good pitching. They got timely hitting. And so it'll be a loss for the Chinooks. It'll take their record to, let's see, that's not 5. They're now 5-9 in ABL play. The Pilots now 8-11 on the season, and I don't know. We're guessing at some of these records because the stats on the website we're still working on trying to get those records accurate from Presto, our carrier. So hang in with us on that. I think in a week or so they're going to get that figured out, but they got some of the non-conference games figured in there. But best we can tell, the Nooks are going to drop to 5-9 after this loss, and the Pilots would elevate to 8-11. Well, let's see what's next for the Pilots. It's going to be the Sunday, and they have an off day. Well, that's not a bad deal after getting a road win. You got a Sunday off for the Pilots, and then they're at Matsu on Monday. For the Chinooks, we'll turn it around in short order here, as the Chinooks will be right back here in the friendly confines for their 3rd in a row at Lee Jordan. 3 of 5 home games in a row. 2 o'clock start against the Miners. And so that'll wrap things up for a Saturday afternoon. And the Chinooks come up on the short end of this one by a score of 7-0. 7 runs, 14 hits, no errors for the Pilots. No runs, 4 hits, and 4 errors for the Chinooks. Thanks for all the feedback on the live chat. Sure is good to hear from all of you. We'll have one more day in the saddle tomorrow, as Miss Solway checked in from Sun Lakes, Arizona toward the end there. We'll have one more day to talk at you tomorrow, but thanks for all the feedback there. Thanks be to God who gives us the victory through Jesus Christ our Lord. This is Dr. John Grove from Chugiak, Alaska. Until tomorrow, about 1:45 Alaska time. So long, everybody.